And all right, well, let's come to order. This is the Northwest San Pedro Neighborhood Council Youth and Outreach Committee monthly committee meeting. And before we proceed to the agenda proper, are there any comments on non-agenda items? Anyone?
The only thing I gotta say is there's a Daniel in the attendees. We need to see if he's a school person or, you know, a kid from the high school.
Yeah, Daniel, if you're attending for San Pedro High, just make a comment in the chat to that effect. Sorry, I'm doing several things at once here.
Daniel says he is, but you need a last name if you're gonna give him credit to end his teacher.
Yeah, go ahead and put your full name in the chat, please, Daniel.
He has his hand up, Chris.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Oh, you're muted. Go ahead and unmute.
I don't see that his hand is up.
Oh,
I just see he put his full name and his teacher in the Q&A.
oh, okay.
He did have it up, but yeah, he must have then wrote it in. Okay.
Oh, okay. Great. Thanks, Daniel, and welcome. Let's see. Let me just copy that info. All right. So is there any public comment on non-agenda items? Anyone? Hearing none. Our first order of business, and this is meant to be relatively brief, just to kind of get some things in the agenda, sort of float some things and have an idea, you know, of what we might want to start organizing and conversations we might want to be having. About an anticipated return to in-person events and scheduling for 2022, as it would relate to our kind of the activities we're used to participating in. You know, obviously, I guess really Candy Cane Lane or the holiday parade is going to be really our first in-person anything. Those aren't really our events, but the first time anybody from the board is going to be around either. Well, the general public, I guess we did that at the health fair. But kind of one of the more traditional things that we would normally be doing happening again. And so that would tend to indicate that in 2022, we may be able to have a more or less regular calendar. So just some ideas about what sort of things we might want to have and the people we would have to talk to about doing that. So you'll typically would have sort of movies in the park. There would be just in terms of our involvement, there would be stuff like EcoFest and WildFest. I know Earth Day is relatively early in the year, things like that. So are there any ideas or things that anybody has sort of anticipated or would like to sort of see happen in the coming year?
Well, like I was telling you, maybe we could do, you know, concert by the sea or, you know,
Yeah, so we could
like a
definitely, we could reach
monthly
out to
or-
the people who do that. Lori, go ahead.
See, look, I'm raising my hand and everything.
Uh-huh.
I was thinking, possibly when the weather's a little better, that tabling at first Thursday as a way of engaging, a very inexpensive thing to do.
Yeah, and that's that's always good because it's high traffic. It's the type of thing where everybody in town sort of shows up one point or another anyway, so it's a good place to get seen. And it is also sort of like you don't have to make a tremendous commitment in terms of anything to really just to kind of be there. That's a good one. And without knowing kind of what weather or anything would be like, movies in the park, which would be, I think we had some success with Bogdanovich before. Now I know there's a whole status thing now of whether or not that's actually considered to be in Northwest or not, but I don't think that would preclude our reaching out to them just as a de facto neighbor and partner.
Bogdanovich has already let us know that they would welcome us to come do this again. And also Coastal has indicated they'd be interested in partnering with us. And Angela has her hand up.
Well, I raised my hand to say that I think that movies in the park would be a great start to in-person events because it's outdoors and it's fun, and yet people can still distance if they need to. I just love the idea of a movie in the park.
Yeah, and I mean that's obviously kind of a feel-good thing anyway. And that I would see again, as a later in the spring thing, or maybe even
Right.
like a schools out kind of thing. But
Chris, one advantage of Bogdanovich, if I'm sorry, I mean to interrupt, is that if weather is not good, if you coordinate it with Selena, she can move it to the gym.
Yeah.
So even if the weather's a little colder, so Selena has been the contact person there. So anyway, I mean, definitely I would wait more till like February. Well, who knows? Climate change. It could be raining anytime.
Yeah.
But that's an option in Peck Park. You would think they could move it indoors, but it somehow Peck Park has not been as easy to work with to do that as Bogdanovich. And like you said, yes, there's issues about whether Bogdanovich is in Northwest or not. I personally don't see that as an issue.
Yeah, no, I don't think it would be in a practical sense. Just so that's good. And of course, the good thing is that we already know, obviously, those folks are on board. We know who to reach out to, and really, I think it's a lot about sort of getting them to pencil things in, or just to make sure that they don't, aren't sort of taken by surprise, and that they know that that's
Chris, you have an attendee. Mr. Epperhart has his hand raised.
I see, Doug.
You would need to unmute him.
Yes. Go ahead, Doug.
Yeah, just to clarify for everybody, Bogdanovich is in Coastal and it is in Northwest.
No.
There's an overlap. It's been that way for 20 years. The only thing that would change that is if for some reason Bonk decided to take it away from one or the other, but I do not see that happening. So stop questioning yourselves. Till something changes, it's in Northwest as well as Coastal.
That works for me. Thank you, Doug. So that's good. I mean, I think that hopefully other organizations around town will, again, I think Music by the Sea is a good one. Again, things that have happened several years in a row that we, should expect, especially outside stuff. It would be good. And I'm going to start to try and get a contact list of those folks together so that I can just reach out to them and say, hey, when you guys start to plan these things, please, loop us back in, because we'll be interested, in doing that stuff. And then, I guess we don't have an election next year, right? Just double checking there's no more of that stuff for a few minutes. So that'll be nice. Hopefully, like, we can have some kind of casual, I don't know what, if anything, that will be to do with pathways to employment, but I think putting the feelers out and kind of giving those people heads up that if and when they schedule things for 2022, we're interested in partnering and doing, hopefully through partnering with things, we can be more active and more engaged with doing less legwork, like building fewer things from scratch ourselves. But then again, knowing that there'll be hopefully people like us to come contribute, will hopefully get more people to, get their own productions rolling. Okay, so anything else on that? All right. Item number 4, social media update, is pretty straightforward. Engagement, follows on Instagram have improved slightly. I mean, what'll happen is a couple of followers per week will trickle in. There isn't always an awful lot of engagement. I today just posted a infographic, basically a flyer for the public safety special meeting, which will be on November 30th. As of now, we are everything that gets posted to Instagram copies automatically to the San Pedro Facebook page, and from there, in this case, for instance, I shared to the San Pedro page as our council page. I don't know about the status of Twitter, although that's again one of those things where Instagram seems to do that job well enough. There has been some talk, and I need to follow up with him, but Vic Christensen, our secretary, has or is in the process of putting the Zoom archive, the archived meetings that we've done virtually, that is all the video and the voice recordings, posting those to a Facebook page. And I think that, that isn't exactly an outreach thing, since it's really just a record of what's happened at these public meetings already. But I intend to talk to him a little bit more about possibly, things that we might, I don't know when, if, or how we would need a any sort of extended video content that would find a appropriate home on a YouTube channel. But if there was something, a speech or a part of an event, or we wanted to simply, produce a promotional thing, that might be a home for that type of stuff. But it really, it's just knowing those things are there, and once they've been set up, if someone has an idea, let's say, if we're doing a cleanup or whatever, do we want to shoot a video for that? Even if people want to shoot stuff on their phones, it gives us another place to post. It is kind of redundant, considering you can put those videos on anywhere else that were already present, but just to give everybody heads up, that's kind of another option. So I see Angela and Lori and Doug. Oh, maybe Doug's hand's up from before. Can't see. Okay, Doug's hand is down. Lori, go ahead.
I was just wondering, it's great that you're going to post the Zoom meetings. I'm assuming committee meetings and board meetings. Can't you post those on our website rather than on our Facebook page?
I don't know, and this is something he did kind of spontaneously. I don't know if he spoke to anyone before he decided to do that, which is also kind of something I want to talk to him about. But I just that had already been put into motion, so I was going to just follow up with him. I didn't really have again, because for the length and the type of content we might conceivably ever produce, Instagram on Facebook would be more than enough. It's like, YouTube is really more for long form stuff where you'll have a regular presence. So I don't necessarily see that as like, I don't see us needing to, or anybody wanting to put the kind of time into that, because that's not really why we're here. But
I think we should put our board meeting recordings on our website.
Yeah, I mean, I think a space that's managed where all of our other stuff is managed would make more sense. But again, this was something he kind of took on his own, so I'll talk to him about that.
Yeah, if you could, other neighborhood councils are posting them, long as we have the ability to have them on Zoom, and you get a little more mileage out of reports. I know Mr. Epperhart wanted to listen to one of our board meetings, and he contacted Vic, but if anybody should just be able to find that on our website if they miss a meeting. I don't know if you want to do committee meetings too, but that's, maybe something the board wants to discuss.
Yeah, and I think that'd probably be worth bringing up. I will put that in the minutes as possible. Well, would we want to move that the board do that. My personal idea would be that unless all the committees do it, that we wouldn't necessarily want to bring it up. I mean, if everybody has to record while we're online anyway, it would seem a relatively straightforward thing for everyone to say, yes, we were going to have our meetings, committee meetings, proceedings going up with everyone else's. If for whatever reason somebody didn't want to, since it's not required, I think it's kind of unbalanced if some committees are represented there and some aren't. So maybe just board meetings or whatever, but is it something we would be interested in asking the board to do, given that all it really is moving a file from one place to another? Not hearing a lot of
I want to hear from somebody other than me.
Wait, I'm not exactly sure I'm clear on the current question. Do we want to move?
Well, well, our board meetings, I mean, all of our public meetings right now are supposed to be the Zooms are recorded, and those go to
Right.
the Zoom servers. I believe at this point they all have been, or at least the board meetings have all been posted online. I think Vic Christensen put them on a YouTube account that he has a pre-existing account of his. And so I was wanting to talk to him about that. But the question was that if those are going to go up, and depending on where we all kind of think they should go, and Lori suggested that everything really kind of should live on our website, which I think is appropriate. Would we want to suggest to the board that all committees
Okay.
recorded meetings go up there as well?
Okay, so when I raised my hand before, it was to actually say exactly what Lori said, that I'm not sure social media is the appropriate place to post those links. I can just, I guess, foresee maybe some potential ramifications of that. Whereas posting them on the website, but I don't know the IT aspect of it, which is more complicated or takes up space or cost. But I think linking them on the website is probably the most professional and appropriate place to do it. And that if I agree that if one committee does, we all should.
Yeah, I don't think there was a suggestion to have the meeting archives in social media.
Okay.
That was just that aspect came up only because where Vic has them is a YouTube account. I guess that would make them easier to view, but maybe not easier to find. The point is, Northwest San Pedro, the website is the central location where whatever it is you're looking for, you start there. It makes a lot more sense to do it if it's not, like you're saying, if the technical aspect isn't too troublesome. It would make a lot more sense to put them there than to have an additional link to an additional site elsewhere that we don't already manage. So I will talk to Victor and to Christina about that, as well as trying to get Christian to sound off, because I guess technically, ultimately, a lot of these things that are non-board consent would be his executive privilege to decide. So between the 17 of us, we'll have to come to some kind of understanding.
I have a whole bunch of hands up, Chris.
Yeah.
So I think I was next. I'll just speak in favor of the idea. It wasn't a formal motion, but I think, you know, all the committees should do the same. And I have a preference that we go to our official website versus social media. Social media, you know, won't necessarily, people following it won't be as aware to look there necessarily. So we could do both, but I think getting on our website is most important.
Yeah, I mean, our website is obviously, that's you know, the most obvious place to put it. Unless we had the kind of viewership where people would be interested to watch as soon as something was posted. I think it's really, YouTube's a more appropriate platform for things that intend to have large viewership, which I don't think is necessarily us. I see Alexander, and then John, and then Doug.
Okay, I was gonna make two comments for the videos. I think you should probably link it to YouTube from our website, just because then they at least have access, because I know that you probably won't be able to find it unless you're specifically looking for it. And then in terms of the committees making the videos, I think we should just have them uploaded. There's no reason why not. If you're going to record it, everyone should be able to access it pretty easily. And that's just my comment.
Yeah, I think I tend to agree in terms of unless it gets to the point where we have to start spending money on additional storage space or whatever. And hopefully we won't have to do it this way forever. And we have no idea at this point if we're going to have any streaming or online presence after we return in person. We're going to have a hybrid. That'll be a whole separate consideration at the time anyway. But yeah, I think that the recordings exist. We might as well make them available. John and Doug?
Look, having it on our website is just gonna, it's too much, there's too much, a lot of negativity and stuff that's out there on social media too, which we don't. But having it on our website, one of the biggest thing is not only that people could see, but they have to go on our website and finally see, oh my God, look how much more stuff they have on the website. So that right there, we're trying to get stakeholders, and that's going to be the best way to get a stakeholder is if they want to see a meeting, then they'll continue looking at our website and go, wow, there's a lot of information here. We never knew about this. So that's what's, I think, is going to be a big success for that.
Yeah. And so go ahead, Doug, what's your comment?
Yeah, just since we've been doing this since the beginning of Zoom, I thought this might be helpful to say. The way we do it at Coastal is when we did our first Zoom meeting and we recorded it, the board meeting, not committee meetings. I received the link, since I'm the one with the account. I forwarded that email to Christina and I said, please post this to our website. And so you will find all of our Coastal board meetings on our website. You can watch them. We get two links. One is strictly the video and one is the video with the transcript, which can be quite amusing at times. I would recommend that you probably do that. It's very simple. And certainly the person who does our minutes loves the fact that they can just go straight to our website and watch it stuff when they have to do minutes. I have found it handy, and Lori was right. For your last board meeting, I wasn't able to attend, but I was curious about some things to see what you had done. And I went to your website and I said, oh, they don't post their board meetings. So I called Christian Guzman, the other Christian, and I said, can you send me the link? So it's really simple. It takes literally as long as it takes to forward an email with the link to Christina. With regard to committees, we leave it up to the committee members. I mean, they're the chairs. If some record meetings, most don't. Some who record them like to post them, but we don't have any kind of specific rules about committees. So it's really simple to get it onto your website.
Yeah, and Chris, I don't know if this is a possibility, but with government teachers wanting the students to attend, and maybe it's difficult for them to be able to attend in evening meetings, maybe there's a way that they can watch the videos and get credit for that. I don't know how they prove they watched the whole thing, but it's just something you could check with the high school teachers and see if that's another way that high school students could earn their credits for it and also learn more about what we do.
Yeah. I mean, again, it seems like there's not much reason not to. So do we have a general sense of support for the idea of taking to the board a motion to formalize this process? Basically,
I don't think you need to. I think you just start posting, forget the committees, just stick with the board meeting, just start posting them. Why do we need permission? I mean,
well, I mean, in terms of, I guess I'm just, yeah, it's not really a policy thing.
it's a public meeting already. It's not like.
Well, no, I'm just in terms of what to do with the thing. It's really, I'm assuming it's more something that Christian needs to decide. So maybe I'll bring it up with him and Victor and Christina about, how to do this. And so we get it. I just would like to see it done the same way every time and have, people know exactly where to go and what to do with this stuff. Because at this point, I don't know how well known that process is.
Maybe,
Right,
maybe
so
somebody
but-
disagrees with me and maybe you think you need a board okay. I
Well,
personally
no, I
don't.
mean,
but-
I wouldn't see why we would necessarily do that, because we don't necessarily do that for the nuts and bolts kind of, administrative stuff anyway. But yeah, I guess I was really thinking of wrapping the idea of the committee videos in there, but that should be more or less up to the chairs of those respective committees if they're want to do that. All right. Okay, good. So I'll
They'll
then,
have two hands up. I don't know if they're new hands or from before.
oh, I see. Oh, Thomas's went down. Doug, and Doug is well. All right. Okie dokie. Item number 5 is discussion of the status of the San Pedro Holiday Parade and the Candy Cane Lane event. And to start off, well, John, you did tell me that Chamber of Commerce confirmed that we do have a vehicle for the parade.
Yeah, I talked to Elise this week Friday. And she did confirm we do have the one of the new trolleys. And not sure if they're not sure yet if Coastal or Central will share with us if they're going to be in it. So we don't know that much. She's going to give us, well, actually, Ryan, I was talking to him today about a couple of things. And then Elise said that she'll try to get out the schedule where we're going to start, if it's going to be back at like 19th Street, like it's always been. And the actual parade starts, I think, Lord, 14th Street, where it used to always start. But then we'll be going down. So we'll know more maybe this week, or hopefully by Monday or Tuesday of next week after Thanksgiving, for that matter. But yeah, we're in, so.
Okay. Well, that part seems relatively straightforward.
Look, Chris.
Yeah.
You need to, once you get the details, of course, send an invite out to the board, but you need to find out if board members are allowed to bring a +1. We normally would not be doing that, especially since we're limited in space. But I think you should clarify, this is for board members only. I don't know if you're going to allow board members and committee chairs, because you have a couple of committee chairs who are not board members, like Diana and Jason. So you just need to get clarification with Elise as to how many spots you have on that trolley. Not everybody from the board even shows up, but just to avoid any problems, I would get clarification on that.
Yeah, I mean, I know the assumption would be that we're not really, it's not a good idea to bring guests anyway for space.
I mean, I could let you know because I got to talk to her again here,
Okay, yeah.
maybe
that'd be-
tomorrow or Wednesday. So I can ask her about that. Yeah, I do know that we can't, Dan asked, if he could bring his grandson and wife, and I told him no, because she says due to the insurance factor, it's only for us. We're not insured to have family members. But I know she did mention to me, says, yeah, whoever's on the board could be there. So figuring that, if that could be an assumption right there that, hey, no committees, it's just, but well, let me find out. I have to talk to her.
Okay, well, if we get an answer in time for the board meeting, let's just tell everybody exactly what needs to happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Doug has his hand up again.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Doug.
Yeah, just FYI, Coastal voted to participate in the parade.
Sorry, say again.
Coastal voted to participate in the
Okay.
parade, but I don't know what that's going to look like, other than we're going to be there.
Yeah, okay.
Chris, in the office, are two giant magnetic signs that used to go on the side of a car for the parade. I don't know if there's a metal place on the trolley where you could put that, or if you wanted to bring one of the banners so that people know who these people are that are riding on the trolley. So, but that stuff is in the office, and my understanding is Melanie has a key to that. probably since Melanie's going on vacation on December 1st, somebody on the executive board should get the key from her. Should you want any of those materials to put on the trolley?
Yeah, and again, that's, you know, my understanding was like that stuff's supposed to run through the president, but
Do you
people have
want it
just been-
done?
Well, I mean, the thing is, people have just been going and establishing YouTube accounts and getting keys and whatever, and you know, it's not my call to make, and I haven't taken these independent actions. But you know, yeah, if she's not going to be around, obviously we're going to need the key. I'm not supposed to have it, but it would be better that someone was actually here.
Honestly, as outreach chair, there should be 2 keys, but she thinks she needs a key because she's responsible fiscally for the inventory. But all the materials in there, all are from the outreach. So that's something you guys can discuss, but I'm just letting you know, if there's something that you need, there's the magnetic signs and there's banners in there. So, and I don't know, you know, or you could make a small sign just to, you know, because you don't really want to cover the whole trolley and our banner is ridiculously large. And, or you could have some of the younger people like Adrianita and Alexander walk in front of the trolley holding the banner, announcing it. Of course, Doug might have a problem with that if coastal people are on there too, but you could work it out. But that banner's really big from people to walk with it.
Well, we can put Doug's people on top of, you know, Alexander's shoulder. I don't know about Adrianita, and they can hold the other sign like that, you know.
Well, so anyway.
Well, I was gonna say, you guys shouldn't worry about walking in front of the trolley as long as one of us isn't driving it.
Yeah.
So just ideas. And the last time we actually were able to walk in there, Gwen brought some holiday decorations and we kind of put some little garland on top of the banner. So it looked all festive and holiday-ish kind of stuff. You got to have fun with it. And when you do send an email out to the board inviting them, I highly encourage you, ask them to wear holiday, you know, hats and clothes and, you know, look festive. You're just going to be there waving. But it's kind of nice if you really get into, it's called the Spirit of San Pedro Parade. So.
Okay. I will do that. And so that's the one that's relatively under control in terms of the logistics. And now for Candy Cane Lane, so far, the best of my recollection, Angela and Gwen have confirmed some participation. Via email, I think Gwen might have said something in person or indicated otherwise that she'd be there. Anybody else who, I mean, again, it's basically, there's 3 slots, you know, set up, manning the table, and tear down. So we need help. Right now, the critical factor is moving of the pop-up tent. I do not have a vehicle large enough to accommodate the tent. Lori has arranged to bring it there, have it on site, be there for setup, but does not plan to stay the entire.
I need people. Okay. I can drive there with it in my car, but I need it's the mother of all easy ups. It's really heavy. Okay, so I need somebody to help. And usually we've grabbed some of the people setting up other booths to help out, but I need to know that you have 1 or 2 other people that are going to be there to set up. Alexander has his hand up. Is he one of those people?
I was actually just gonna mention, in this case, I actually have like in my school, we have a club that's literally for service hours. So if you want, I can bring a couple people with me and we could, like, if we can get service hours for it, we can help you with that.
That's
Yes.
absolutely perfect. Yeah.
Perfect. And does anybody know, John, do you know because you have to get your car in there and out of there by a certain time. Okay, so it used to be you could get there at 4 and you had to get out of there by like 4:30. Do you have those specifics, John Barbera?
Yes, it is still the same, 4 o'clock.
In the morning?
4 in the afternoon.
Oh, okay, that's better.
Which, you know what? It doesn't matter, Tom. It's still gonna be dark at 4 o'clock start getting, so it's the same.
Oh,
But-
oh, that's the other thing. It is very dark there. In the office, if somebody could get there, we have lanterns that we bought for this event. So, okay, and there's holiday decorations to put on there.
Yeah, so we
got a whole
got, and
bunch
then
of hands
also, I gotta talk to, I gotta get a hold of Diane, talk to her this week at Pollyann and see where are we gonna be, where we usually set up, right in front of Pollyann Bakery,
It doesn't
or,
matter, John. It doesn't
you know,
matter. When you
yeah.
get there, they tell you it's written on tape on the ground where your spot is. That's not
okay, so they
important.
got it, yeah. She
It's-
said that she was gonna try to stick to the same spot where we've always been.
Okay, you got
Yeah.
So
3
where
other
is-
hands up, so I'm.
Where is the pop-up, Lori? Because Alexander has a van, I know, and I have a van.
Well,
And,
right, oh, that would be awesome if you could get me out of this. I mean, if you could get help. Right now it's in Melanie's garage. Okay, because she used it for the cleanup. Melanie lives right next to Target across from Harbor Highlands Park. So I had made arrangements with her to pick it up a week from Sunday. But if anybody wants to get it from her sooner,
Because you know, Alex supposed to be there for Rotary, right? As incoming president, I'm gonna have to rotate duties between the two things, but the Interact Club, Alex leading now, could get a lot of bodies there if it's heavy. And I think we could commit to picking it up for Melanie and bring it there. We just need John or you to tell us where it goes. And if there's any challenge, you know, as well as how would we get into the place to get the lanterns? Like, we've got a garage here where we could store stuff. I just want to make sure we have enough lead time to, you know, as a new member, I don't know where to get anything.
well, the first
Yep.
thing is for somebody to get their hands on the keys to the office. I used to be the holder of that, to get the lanterns and then find out, I think we need batteries for them. But I don't know if you want to pick up, Thomas and Alex, if you want to pick up the Easy Up sooner and just have it at your house until you need it, so you don't have to worry about it. Melanie's leaving on vacation on the 1st. So we want to go to Hawaii. So we want to get it out of her house. But, you know, I have little lanterns, Girl Scout lanterns I can lend you too, if you can't get them. But it seems like a shame that Chris bought those lanterns and they're big, not to use them and the holiday decoration. So Alex and Tom, do you want to arrange with Melanie?
Well, let me talk to her about getting the key to the office. And
Okay.
then when I do that, we'll see if we can make arrangements for the other stuff. Because if it's,
Okay.
I mean, really, again, I live 2 blocks from the location,
Yeah.
and I'm intending to be there, you know, really most of, or if not the entire time. It's just about the logistics of actually moving the thing.
Sure.
And
Chris, let me just say that we're supposed to keep stuff in the office, okay? But because that thing is so darn heavy and we're on the 5th or 6th floor, okay, and you have to go through the freight elevator, I about threw my back out a few times. So I was just keeping it in my garage. And then when I wasn't on the board anymore, I rolled it all the way over to John's house and kept it in his garage. So you need to decide too, first getting it there, but who's going to take it back? And are you going to, you know, take it back to John's house? Are you going to decide you want to keep it in the office? That somebody needs to make those decisions.
yeah. I mean, right now, since we don't necessarily have the next event after this is not even remotely on the calendar, it wouldn't make much sense. You know, I mean, I don't think anybody's going to come looking for it. And in a practical matter, whatever the easiest way it is to put it away somewhere, I would be fine with.
Kelly has her
Kelly,
hand up too. Yeah.
I-
Kelly. You have to unmute. There you
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna be parked at school, so I'm just gonna come right from school. So I'll be there, you know, when it before we start. So if we're gonna be there at 4 o'clock, I'll help set up and do whatever. And because I'm already gonna be parked by the school and I'm just around the corner.
That's great.
So I'll help do whatever to set up and stay as long as I can handle it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
well, I mean-
thanks, Kelly. Chris, do you have leftover newsletters too that you can take for handouts?
Yeah. yeah.
Okay.
Most of this is going to be, you know, a couple of people at the table to allow people to come take what we're handing out. You know, this is a scaled back version of what we would normally be doing. Most of it, in this case, just concerned with being visible, and again, a handout or two, either the craft thing or candy cane or newsletter or whatever. So it's not going to be much after between putting the tent up and putting it down. There's not going to be much to do but stand and chat and greet people. So,
You need a clipboard with the email sign in too. This is the great opportunity to collect email addresses. So honestly, I used to have a checklist for this event so that, you
all that stuff is in the bag with the newsletters.
I've got lots of clipboards in my classroom I can bring.
Yeah, clipboards we have, but Chris, I think I gave you extras of the sign-in sheets.
Yeah.
So you're not giving out pens, right? You're just going to give out the candy canes and the little kits for the kids to make the art thing. And John, those little art things, I suggest you make a couple of them and tape them up to the poles of the tent so they can see what they look like.
Well, actually, I'm gonna pick them up tomorrow. Christine's got them in. The candy canes are in, and the Santas are in with the, with the candy canes and the little wreaths that you can make. So I'll get those, and then I'm gonna separate them, in boxes so that this box carries this, and I'll put the picture in front of the box. I'll have one made and stick it to each front of the box, and they can see which one they want.
So I would suggest you decorate the box, put some wrapping paper around it, some holiday paper, but you will have families that come up and their kids want one of each. So you got to decide, do you have enough? Do they get one of each, or they pick one or the other?
Yeah, I thought about, there's 3 different types of Santas, okay? And there's 3 different types of the other one. We got 200 of everything. So if anything, they can maybe pick a Santa and then pick another one of the candy cane or something, that they can do that. But to go and give them, I want one of these, one of these, one of these, no, because we'll run out.
Where's the Jewish stuff? Where's the dreidels?
Well, I do have the candelabra, so I do know.
It's called a menorah. It's not a Liberace candelabra.
I know that, but every time you say that, I'm thinking of like what I use to plant my vegetables, anyway.
With a candelabra? Anyway.
No, the manure.
Oh, manure. Okay. Thank you, Chris. I didn't know where he was going with that.
So on that note, so that's good. I mean, again, I don't think we would need or even necessarily could accommodate like a ton of people. I think if everybody who's interested to come spend some time there does so, we'll be fine. And as long as there's help with the tent, that the rest of it should not be too much of an issue.
I also gave John a couple of storyboards that we had done in the past that we used to just put up. Well, they're really brag boards that have pictures of things that our neighborhood council has done over the years. So John has those if you want to put those up. So if people say, what the heck is the neighborhood council? What do you do? Then you've got the brag board.
Yeah, although it may be dark, and my recollection of this event is that usually it's like camping where you have one, it's not all that easy to see and do all that stuff, but it's
why we bring the lanterns.
That's why we bring the lanterns. We hang them all around the top there.
In the office, you also have holiday lights that you could string too.
Yeah. There's also battery operated holiday lights we can hang. So, I mean, it's that I'm not worried about that part, Chris. I've been doing it for the last 3 years. I know, we have the stuff. We just need to get the keys and go down there and get the stuff. And like I said, the lanterns, we just, I'll get a box of AA batteries, what they take, and they're the nice, really ones where you pull them apart and they just illuminate really nice. So
you might have batteries in the box with the lanterns. John, maybe if I can take an hour off work, if you can get the key, and I'll go over and show you guys where everything is.
Yeah, that's good. We could do that.
Yeah.
You got more hands up.
Alec, Angela and Alec.
I don't want to create more work, but I just had an idea that might be a good one or might be a pain. Do we want to put little stickers or anything on the kit since we're sending them home that say something like Happy Holidays from Northwest San Pedro so they know where they got these things, or is that more trouble than it's worth?
I vote for you to make them.
I can, well, I mean, as long as I can find somewhere to print them out, but I mean, I could get some labels and
If
print,
you wanted
but-
to do that, yeah, at this point, it would be, unless you were willing to go out of pocket essentially to do it, I don't know if we have time to get it approved as an
Oh, right.
expense. But yeah, or that would not be necessarily a bad thing to have. It's a relatively cheap thing that we could use to brand whatever in the future, but I don't know if we have the resources to do it as quickly as we would need for this thing otherwise.
Chris, I
I
don't mind
might-
it, I can pick them up, and if Angela wants to come by, we'll use my printer. I'm right there
and
in
then
the
I could
kitchen.
stick them on. I'd be happy to assemble them.
I
I
use
might
it-
have some
I'll-
address labels I can check. Maybe John, I could touch base with you to see what size packages they are and see what I have, and we can.
I'll have
decide
these
if this is
tomorrow.
doable.
I'll have them tomorrow. I'm picking them up from Christine tomorrow. And so I'll look at them, and I know the packages were like, I think 3x2, something like that, or 3x3.
I gotta tell you, it's a nice idea, but these are little kids' crafts.
This is gonna tear them apart.
Some of them are gonna rip them open before they even leave the premises. So just, I mean, it's fine with me, any publicity we can get, but just keep in mind that,
Well, if they do rip them up, everything's gonna go flying everywhere, because there's, the pieces, and
yeah.
so, and it's something we have to tell the parents while we're there, that, try to open these at home, because if you open them now, you're gonna, the little eyes and this are gonna go flying,
But
Right.
there are gift bags, holiday gift bags in the office too, little ones that you could put the candy cane in the craft in with a little handle on it.
Aw,
Oh, that
Yeah.
could be, yeah, we still
So-
have a bunch of those bags.
I think we do. Again, it's been a long time since I've taken the inventory, so,
Let's see if we can get the key from Melanie. Maybe we can go down Monday.
okay,
When you're here, we could do that.
okay.
If that's okay with Chris,
Yeah, absolutely. And I was already talking to Mel about some other stuff today, so I'll ask her about the key, and that's really kind of the first step to moving the rest of this along anyway. But it's also something we'll have to sort out between Candy Cane Lane and the possible use of the banner with the trolley. We're just going to need the key.
And
so.
see if you can get a second key, Chris, because this is really crazy to only have one key.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that because she had to go directly to CD15's office.
I know.
And, but yeah,
and the other thing, if Alex needs, if he's gonna pick it up with his vehicle, Alex can come by the house and pick me up, and I'll go with him over to Melanie and we'll load it up. So, because I just live a block away from Melanie, so.
All right, so that I will reach out to her about that and hopefully get the.
And did you decide who's going to take the Easy Up home at the end of the day? Is Alec going to do that too? Or are you going to stay there for the whole time?
Well, I'll be there the whole time, and he can
No,
just,
no, I'm talking to Alec, the one who has the vehicle.
I probably can come back. I don't know, like, my question actually was gonna refer to this. Is there like a website or flyer for the time and location? Cause like,
Oh.
I kind of need that to be able to like
Okay,
schedule
there-
myself.
There is a Candy Cane Lane flyer. So what happens is you come in from Weymouth and you turn down 8th Street. Okay, and it'll be blocked off. And there'll be somebody at the gate, and you roll down your window and you say, I'm one of the vendors, I'm with the neighborhood council. They'll let you through the sawhorse barrier. You're allowed to park for a little bit. They want you to empty your truck and then go park somewhere else and come back and set up, kind of thing. They don't want you to leave your car there too much because they get backed up with people setting up. So that's kind of the process. And then if you're lucky, you can get a parking space in the assistance league or behind it. If not, you might have to park a few blocks away.
Okay.
And then at the end of the event, they'll, I've been lucky in the past where I got a space close enough in the assistance league that we could just wheel stuff over to the car. But if you're gonna leave and come back, I'm not quite sure where you would park.
Okay, and then could you forward me that flyer so I can like spread it so I know like my volunteers would want to know what exactly.
Sure,
So
while you're doing this, I'll look and see if it's on our website. It should be.
How large is that? I'll find out from Alex landlord if there's space in the garage to store it after the event. It seems like it'd be easier just to leave it there until we need to put it in the office, but I wanted to get a sense.
well, we really don't, like Lori said, it was a pain it's heavy. It's heavier than most, 10 by 10s, This thing is just, I don't know if it's got solid rocks in it or, but it is heavy. So if Alex can keep it, he just keep it in the garage, because that's That's what I would do. Just keep it there in the garage. And when they need it, I'm always home. I'm retired. So they could always come get it if we got a function to do it. But to take it to the office and leave it there, that's a pain. It's too much work. There's stairs we got to go down. And it trust me, Lori and I did it back in 2019. And that was the last time we did that.
That object in particular seems to be difficult enough that, it's not something that's going to grow legs and run away. And the only time we ever need it is out in the public. It's like that taking it upstairs to put it in a building doesn't make an awful lot of sense considering how it ever gets used. Some stuff for the sake of security should be there, but that stuff's also a lot easier to carry. And so as long as we have somebody who's willing to kind of host it, we can risk the wrath of city clerk if it's not exactly where it's supposed to be, because they can come pick it up if they don't like it.
Yeah, there's nothing they'll do. They never bothered us. Lori's had it for years now.
Yeah.
So it's
again,
not
they would
in
have to
my
come
garage,
physically get it.
right off to the side with the other stuff that I got. Yeah, it's fine,
Okay. All right. Well, that sounds like we have a good basis of a plan. Hopefully at the next board meeting, we can get, word out, get some commitments in terms of other people swinging by the booth, at least hopefully help out a little bit. And
I just emailed the Candy Cane Lane flyer to all you guys.
oh, thank you.
Adrianita, you're going to be there? Being our youth?
I think I might have to work. Yeah, I work Fridays.
Okay.
On Friday. Oh
Yeah.
man.
But I'm not sure because it's not, I still don't have a firm schedule for next month. So I just started working this week.
Congratulations, I guess.
Thanks.
On top of everything else she's got going.
Yeah, my middle daughter just got her first job this week as well, and so takes me back. All right, well, the last item on the agenda is pretty brief. Again, I've been in contact with the staff at Willenberg, who has facilities for, I'm assuming it's silk screening. I haven't heard specifically if it's that or direct print, but they can make t-shirts. I have not heard back in terms of pricing. I've given them sort of a mock-up of the concept art, and it's just I just give them something.
Share it with us. Show us the mock-up.
Well, I'm trying to find that, and let me see. I have so many cloud file resources that it's difficult to keep track. Let me see if I can find it real quickly. Basically what it is, and it's not, I haven't finalized it, but basically it's gonna be a black short sleeve t-shirt with yellow print. And my concept is just essentially Northwest San Pedro Neighborhood Council in kind of a block. It's either gonna be large, I think I asked for different quotes. Just the front, large, like let's say, maybe not this big, but similar in sort of width and height. So either just this in the front, front and back, small in front with large in back, or just small in front. But the idea would be that at a distance, you could tell that somebody was a board member. It would be obvious, and it wouldn't, it would be very straightforward, something that you could.
You're not going to use our logo on the shirt?
Well, the logo it's complicated because of the shape. It's because of the ability to read it at a distance, and I haven't.
It's branding.
Yeah, but I also I'm thinking in terms of the function of this thing. It's just you want somebody to be able to see you. Let's say down the street at Weymouth Corners, and you'd be able to tell exactly what it is. But most importantly, I'm still waiting to hear back from them in terms of how much that would be. So I will email, I'll request an update tomorrow. And
if you're just going to do words, maybe you do what we used to do on them and say, "We heart San Pedro."
Well, so yeah, I was thinking of something like that. But again, I wanted to have a sense of, how much we were, because I would like to get good quality shirts that people would be willing to wear. I want, that'll be comfortable, if, for instance, we're outside on a warm day or whatever. I just wanted to see kind of what their range was, and also to find out specifically, like, how much more it would be to have it two-sided or whatever. And I just hadn't heard back, so I didn't want to get too
Okay.
far into committing to something until I knew what it would be like.
Best to put on something on front, because if people are wearing a jacket, you can,
Yeah.
I've learned this the hard way with Girl Scouts, but I have to say, I'm really kind of disappointed that we can't use the logo, because that's part of our branding. And I gave you the transparent one, or you can put it in a block. Is that totally off the table?
No, but again, I was just looking at other designs.
How does everybody else feel? Are you okay with just the words?
Don't know why it's so hard. Oh, you know what? Oh, I do know where I can find it, because I sent it in an email.
I mean, it would be nice to have our logo on there. I mean, that's, stakeholders know what it looks like by now. To determine us,
I'd like to see the artwork, but I also am a fan of the logo.
You can leave the waves on the bottom off of the logo, Chris. In this way, it's just two color.
Plus it is our trademark,
Right.
Hold on, I know too many email accounts, too much email. I have it nearby. I know. Share the screen. Oh,
How about the rest of the committee?
Hold on a second.
Thomas, Alexander, Kelly, Adrianita, do you have any preference on the shirts?
Without seeing it, it's hard to judge.
Hold on, I found it. Let's see. Something
I
like
can
this.
judge blindfolded.
Can you see that? Oops.
Nope, you have to share the screen.
There you go.
What kind of font is that?
I don't remember the name of it offhand. Again, that's why it's not finalized. The font is something I could change with a click. I wanted to get something of the general size and shape. So basically a rectangle that's wider than it is tall, yellow type on a black shirt. So
I don't know. I'm not a fan of this, but it's a committee.
So
Mine's just Schoolhouse Rock.
yeah, that or the Flintstones.
and so
It's got no continuity to any fonts that we've used in any of our marketing. I mean, take the way it is on that background right there on that sunset. If you could put a rectangle right around that with those colors, so you'd have black, white, and you have the gold in there, that would look awesome.
That would look nice.
Oh, I thought I could open it. It's not doing that. No, I thought I was going to be able to get it as a PNG. Anyway, all right. So what's the consensus? Would everyone rather have the a version of the logo?
Yes. Anybody else?
Yeah, I like the logo. I like it.
Yeah, I prefer the logo.
Okay, well then that's what I'll submit. I'll find out.
And Chris, I don't know if it's possible, but exactly what you're looking at right now, if you just put a rectangle right around that, so you had that sunset in the background, and
oh, well, no, it's going to
logo-
have to be it's going to have to be one color, like a multicolor screen. It's like, it's a lot of money to have to turn a photorealistic thing into a silk screen, because you're talking about a color separation. Each color is a separate screen. It has to be done in a separate
right.
class. Separate
And you're
drawing.
sure they're silk screening it? They're not
Well,
just,
that's what I thought, but they haven't confirmed that to me. So if it's a direct print, which I know exists, but I don't know exactly what that looks like, then that would be an option.
because I did give you a clear version of it, but if you're doing this on a black shirt, you're not going to see the black bird on there. And it's going to look lopsided. It's not going to look like our logo. The bird is part of the logo.
Can we make the bird white?
Then it's a dove. I don't know. You
I
can't-
mean, because it's going to
no.
be on a black. It's going to be on a black shirt.
Well, that's why I said if you could put it in a box. Out,
well,
instead
then
of
I would
an
need
album.
access to the original art if it's going to be edited.
Yeah, well, I gave you both the transparent one and the regular one.
Right, but I mean, the one that has the elements like separate, because it's still, if it's just as one item that you.
No, you can't change the color. It, besides which, you don't change the color of part of a logo. You can't, it's like, no, it's a marketing no-no. Why don't
But
we
does it
find
have
out?
to be, does it have to be the black shirts? We can't go to the yellow
No,
or
no,
the,
I think black shirts is the right way to go. I think he's made the good call there, but why don't you find out what type of printing it is before we spend so much time on it? Because that it might answer right there. And if you show them this, see what ideas they have.
Sure.
I just think if you're going to do the shirts, let's do them right.
I agree, they should be done right.
Sorry, it's just the marketing in me. And I just like the continuity. If somebody says, oh, I've seen that before, where did I see that? That's what branding's all about.
All right. Well, then I will, I'll follow up with Willenberg and see what they have in terms of options for that. Where is, oh, rats, so many screens. There. Where are my controls? Oh, there we go. Right. All right. Well, that was the last item on our agenda. Does anyone have anything else to add or share before we adjourn?
Will you be following up with the high school to give Daniel Fernandez get the information? I don't have Mr. Mossberg's email address.
Yeah, I don't know who that is, but I
You have connections to the high school though. You could find out. Doesn't your kid go there?
Yeah, oh, there's like 2,000 other kids there as well. So
Yes, but I know, but you know people who know people.
yeah. I can where should all my windows go? All right, I think oh, there it is. Yeah, I will you must be in the faculty directory. All right. Well, is
So
anybody?
Chris, what about the event you were telling about on the safety event on the 30th? You're not going to have another board meeting before that event happens. What's the outreach plan for that?
There isn't one really. Art has already, or the flyer's already gone up on the website. Christina, I believe, has the agenda posted, and Melanie is sharing that same information on some of the neighborhood watch pages. Again, I have that up on Instagram, Facebook, and San Pedro, California Facebook page.
Maybe you can send it to the other two neighborhood councils in San Pedro.
I can send
Or
that.
Christina can connect with them if you ask her to.
Yeah, if Doug, if you guys are interested in having that, I can make that available. It's, again, it's already
And is
Sure,
somebody going to
one.
send an email out to the board, or I'm not on the board, so I don't know. Did you send an email out announcing that event so the board is aware of it?
No, I believe we've already confirmed the date at the board meeting. So that would have been the last board meeting we established a date for the event.
Right, but people don't have the details like, the web ID and the time. So the flyer should go to the board.
Okay, I will endeavor to do that.
I just don't want you at a board meeting, a couple of board members saying nobody told us, gave us the details. I don't want to.
Well, I would tell them that we had, but
Yeah, I'm just gonna weigh in and recommend that you should be automatically sending all your outreach flyers and stuff like that to both coastal and central.
all right, I'll ask Christina to do that then, because if she knows that when we're sending stuff to her that you can copy central and coastal, that would work.
Yeah, sometimes she does, but sometimes she doesn't.
You have to kind of tell her, we'd like you to
Yeah.
share this with the others.
Do you, Doug, do you know if coastal gets, or if somebody gets the email blasts that we send out? Is everyone-
Whoever's on your list, I get them.
Okay, well,
But,
that's what I was
if-
wondering, because I was thinking she might already be sending you that stuff, but I don't know if she does it for, I don't know if it would be going to a different address, I guess, is my, like if she.
No,
used to-
I think individual board members like me might get it. but
Oh.
I don't think it goes to the general, info app necessarily, but you check your list. That'll tell you.
Especially,
Okay.
this is an event that affects all of San Pedro, and I think it's important that people know that this meeting is occurring.
Agreed.
So what's everybody doing for Turkey Day? Whose house are we going to?
Oh, y'all can come over.
I'm gonna have as little turkey as possible.
My
Having
sister
to go
does all the
shoot-
cooking, thank God.
I have to go shoot one of those birds behind me right now, so.
Make
Opposite
sure it
end.
wasn't pardoned.
Then, no, yes.
I'm glad you're gonna sit there and pluck all those damn feathers off.
Okay, I have to admit, when I first saw Lori's background, I thought, is she at City Hall?
Good one.
Yeah. Isn't that what our team from Empower? Never mind. Anyway,
Just trying to have a little fun for, so.
All right.
Doug's on our page. That's good. He's on the same page.
We're all on the same page, John.
Yeah, we sure are, Doug.
Well,
I wish
I
you
hope,
all a happy,
yeah.
happy
Yeah.
holidays. And John, I really want you to thank the Assistance League for getting it together for our kids. So we have some very excited kids. Thank you.
No, they did. Some of those kids came to us from, we had some autistic kids come to the last thing at the Old Navy.
Uh-huh.
Oh, they were grateful, though. You should have seen them. They, even though they cling to mom, but they come out and they would turn around, waved at us. They were so, we had some, we had two kids. I mean, we actually, because I worked the table, was they come in, I'll put the bands on them. I usually work with Rita. She has two schools, and the other lady, Pat, she has two schools. And then Gwen's stepfather, Herb, works the other side, And I'll tell you what, and I'll tell you guys this real quick. The Assistance League, that none of you know that we do, where we have Operation School Bell, where we give, low-income families, we help the kids in the high schools, junior high and elementary, and we give them a certain amount to spend to buy clothes for the school year. And we're now giving them like 115 to the elementary, and then middle school and high school, we're doing 175, because with the discounts, it comes back down to 150, but they get a few extras. And we had a couple of kids that came by. One kid, it was about 9 years old, I think he was in 5th grade or 4th grade. And when he came out, he says to his mother, wait, and he comes over to us at the table and he goes, thank you for giving me new clothes for school. I've been wearing this stuff for too long, and I'm gonna look good, with my friends, and this is the best Christmas gift I could get. And I mean,
Aw.
just as he walked out, we're looking at each other going like, somebody pass me the tissues,
Mhm.
It was just
That's
a
really
great, I
sweet.
mean, that just made the whole day for, to do that. And it just, you should have seen the kids, and they come out there, because across the way is where they come out, and they staple the bag shut so they can't back in and out, and just waving, thank you, and just, it was great. It's just, it's really been a great.
It'd be great if we could get some pictures of those Operation School Bell events. And even if it's from behind and you don't see the kids' faces, and we could share that information on the neighborhood council. They
would
are
be-
located in our area, and they do such amazing work for the
Mhm.
families.
The
Chris,
kids
are
really
you
appreciate
ever
it.
free, Chris, to maybe do something like that for us?
I'm sorry, say again?
You might be able to take some photos for us, the people standing
I
in
have to give them
line.
the
and-
date and where you'll
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
I think I'll give you the one. There's one more in December, because that 100,000 from Buscaino, we had to spend money first, and then we have to put in all the receipts. And so, we we spent the first 50,000. Now we're working on the second one starting January. So, but yeah, let me give you the date. It's December is going to be the last time. And it's at the Old Navy on Carson over there in Torrance.
Yeah,
That's
let me know.
upstairs.
I think if
I
we
think
could
that's
share
what
that.
my kids are going to.
Yeah, that would be great. But I just wanted, John brought up an interesting point. In case you didn't know, when Joe Buscino did that big thing with all the grants where everybody applied for them, originally they were supposed to be, related to in need or COVID, but you had everybody in every organization getting. It was a reimbursement program, and I never heard that, but John found out with Assistance League. So they had to lay out the money and get reimbursed. So if they got $100,000 grant, they weren't given the grant. They had to lay it all out first.
Yeah. So what we have to do the first 50,000.
My point is that in the future, when we know about grants, we need to ask these questions when, that information, because there's some organizations, they can't necessarily afford to lay the money out.
They don't have that kind of money.
Right.
Yeah, that's was kind of anyway, just.
Yeah, it was, and thank God we were like number 5, for San Pedro in the top 10. So, but for, a lot of people don't know what the Assistance League does. And I mean, we have kits for first time rape victims, to get them back on their feet. We have teddy bears that the Weavers put out and give to hospitals. Matter of fact, we just did 280 teddy bears in this last couple of months, went to the different hospitals, in Pedro and Torrance, and gave the kids and the elderly that are sick a teddy bear. And then the Assist Teens is a group of young kids, and tremendous work they do. It's fantastic. And, it's like Kelly says, we had at least 4 or 5 autistic kids come in, and was really great. It's just amazing how they're so happy. When you see a kid come in and he's going to get, and he knows that he's going to get clothes, it's, you just light up their face, and it's just, it's great. And I
I'm
do
excited,
this.
John, because I'm joining in 2 weeks.
I know, and we can use people. I do this because, I'll tell you guys one day, and then I'll tell you the story. But I lost both my brother and sister at early ages. My sister passed away in 62. She was a few months away from being 8. And my brother died in 72, 10 years later, and he was 8. So I've always done stuff to help out the kids and do anything to, make life easy, because, when you lose that, people, and that's why I tell people, man, just call your brother, call your sister, man. You have no idea what it's like to have them and lose them at an early age and not grow up with any. But luckily I've got good friends that, like Lori's my big sister, and, we get along great, and we do, everybody, I think everybody, is just fantastic. No, you Wayne, I didn't stay here. It's just, it's great, with working with everybody. I think we got a great team, and everybody did a little bit, we'd be so far ahead, and it's just, I enjoy the Assistance League. It's one of the happiest things I ever did. So
kind of amazes me how many people have no idea about the Assistance League, and they've been around for so long. I didn't realize what they do.
What's even more amazing, people don't know that there's an 8th Street, and that whole 8th Street is a one-way street, and everything's on there. If you tell them, yeah, Perozzi's there. Oh, I know where Perozzi's at. Well, then Pollyanna, then the Assistant, that we got there's the post office, we got a gift shop. By the way, this whole month through the end of December, the gift shop has got the boutique. It's called the Holiday Boutique. They got some great stuff, and all the proceed monies that we make goes to, getting more teddy bears, getting, more clothes for the kids, and because we're nonprofit, so the boutique has been really took off well this year, and you can stop in. It's from 11 to 3, every day, or 11 to 5 during the week, Saturdays 11 to 3, and then stop in and see a lot of nice stuff, but yeah, looking forward to Candy Cane Lane. I enjoyed it. past few years doing it. So,
It's gonna be weird just to be seeing people in person.
yeah. Bless you.
Have to put pants on. Oh, no.
Yeah, so it's good. It is going to be, been fun. I talked to Octaviano about it, and like you said, nobody could actually hover over they can't stay long at the booth. You can't sit there and have a 20-minute conversation with them as people pile up. You got to keep them moving. Tell them this, tell them that. Leave us your email address and check our website, and boom.
Well, so well, John, that brings, so Chris, you said Angela and Gwen signed up, and now of course Alexander's going to help with setup and stuff. The event runs for 4 hours, right? Well, usually like
5 to 9.
Well, it always ends earlier than that, but
Yeah.
do you have 2 or 3 people covering the whole time, Chris?
Well, I'll be there.
I was planning on being there, so I figured,
Okay.
so,
Okay.
yeah, and
I just,
Yeah. And then I'm there too. So,
well, I thought you were working the assistant's booth.
oh no,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
working. Yeah,
Okay.
they're
And
doing.
I
Gwen
just wanna
said
make
she'd
sure-
stay the whole time.
Yeah, I want to make sure that nobody gets stuck having to work the whole time. And then where the heck is the rest of the board?
well, we'll see. I
Well, Dan told me he's going to probably be there for a little bit.
Oh, that'd be
Yeah,
nice.
and I said to Lori earlier, going forward, because in the past, in so many different events and so many different functions, Lori took on a lot of things herself and either just did them herself, or if she wasn't able to get, people to follow through or whatever, she would just end up doing it. And I'm honestly not willing or able to do it on that level. So like, it's important for me to know that people can commit to stuff. I mean, really the pop-up was a big deal because if my wife's car is probably big enough to carry it, but I don't know that I necessarily, have access to it at that time. So I knew I personally couldn't, return the thing. So in order to move forward, I needed to know somebody could do that. And so it's stuff like that where if we have at least a core of people in this committee who can say, we have these sort of go, no go points where if we can't put it together logistically or whatever, then we can just say, this isn't going to be possible. And that's fine with me because I don't want people to do anything out of, any other obligation that they've already kind of signed on. But I don't want to get things to the nth hour and then go, oh, it turns out this isn't going to be possible, or we, whatever. So I want to be upfront with that and just know that you guys as well, if there's things that you can't commit to or don't want to or whatever, that's perfectly fine. And, we can, regroup whatever, but just we not leaving a Lori, hanging in the lurch with,
Chris, once they
pop-up
get their
everyone.
t-shirts, they'll be motivated to go.
well, we'll see.
Are they going to have tables provided?
Yes, they provide
Yeah.
a table and they provide 2 chairs.
Okay.
Yep.
I'll bring my camp chair.
Okay.
Yeah, we're only. I know we're only, from what Octaviano said, but we're only maybe 3-4 people max.
Yeah, like somebody's gonna police it and say, oh.
I know, yeah, nobody's gonna, but yeah, it's like, we can, and basically, it's not like where we can sit there and hand out all this material and this and that and talk, explain to them what it's basically, it's Christmas. It's, giving things out for the kids and this and that. And while the parents are there, get the stakeholder, if they're in our area, hey, join us,
Well,
and,
but it is an opportunity to try and get people interested in joining committees.
Right.
It is.
Yeah. Yep.
So, but get the email addresses, and they don't have to be a Northwest stakeholder to sign up for the email. So.
yeah. We don't mind taking some of Doug's people. I mean, it's.
And I think he's got a couple he'll give us too.
Taking them where?
Yes, he
Taking
does.
them where? And do you promise to not bring them back?
Yeah.
Are we done, guys?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we are.
We're just yabbering, Kelly.
I'll see you soon. Talk to you guys soon.
All
I
right.
gotta
Have a
go.
great
All right, see you in that
Thanksgiving,
way.
Happy
Happy
holidays.
Thanksgiving, everyone.
Happy
Bye-bye.
Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.